Okay, so what if we treated our planet's health like our national economy? I mean, with the same kind of seriousness, the same kind of budgeting. Today, we're going to dive into a pretty radical new framework that proposes exactly that. Let's jump in. All right, let's kick things off with a number that's, well, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around. In just the last 50 years, the amount of natural resources we've pulled out of the earth, we're talking timber, minerals, you name it, has tripled. I mean, think about that. 3 times as much. We're basically using the planet's resources way, way faster than it can ever hope to renew them. It's like we're running a massive overdraft on our planet's bank account. And that brings up a huge question, right? A really critical one. Our economic reports, the things we base all our big decisions on, are giving us this totally incomplete picture. Why? Because they just ignore that deficit we just talked about? So you have to ask, how on earth are we supposed to manage something if we're not even bothering to measure it? And that really is the core of the problem. It's this idea of a planetary overdraft. Our economic systems are amazing, right? They can track every single dollar and cent. But they are completely, utterly blind to the real environmental costs of, well, everything we do. You know, it's not like people haven't been trying to fix this. For decades, we've had all these big international panels, tons of super detailed reports. But what's really come of it? Not much decisive action. We've got the information for sure, but we're missing a system that actually forces some accountability and makes real change happen. So, okay, how do we fix this? Well, the first piece of this new puzzle is something called an ecology budget, and it's a totally different way of thinking about how a country reports on its performance. It's actually pretty simple to grasp. Think about a regular financial budget. Every year, governments have to report on their income, their spending, all of that, right? Well, an ecology budget would be the same deal, a mandatory report, but instead of tracking money, it would track nature. Things like how many resources we're using, what's happening to biodiversity, how much we're polluting, our entire ecological footprint. And here's the really big idea behind it all. It's about fundamentally changing how we define success for a country. The goal isn't just financial growth anymore. It shifts to planetary health and, long-term sustainability. It completely flips the script on what it even means for a nation to be healthy. So here's why this is a potential game changer. An ecology budget takes all those hidden costs, the damage from pollution, the loss of species, and it makes them impossible to ignore. It literally puts them right there on the national balance sheet. And when you do that, it drives accountability. It makes conservation a real strategic priority, not just something politicians talk about. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But, and it's a big but, where would all this data even come from? For a project this massive, you need an incredibly powerful and accurate data engine. Otherwise, it's all just guesswork. How in the world could we collect this kind of detailed info on a national, let alone a global scale? Well, this is where things get really fascinating. The proposal points to a tiny microscopic key that could unlock this entire system. And that key is microbiome mapping. So microbiomes, these are just the massive communities of tiny organisms like bacteria and fungi that are literally everywhere, in the soil, in the water, even in us. And here's the cool part. They're like nature's own little data processors. The health and diversity of these tiny communities, it's a direct mirror of the health of the entire ecosystem around them. So if we can map them, we can get a super accurate, real-time health report for the planet. And that's the powerful connection right there. This microbiome data is incredibly precise. We're talking precise enough to measure the actual ecological footprint of a single factory, or to monitor the health of a river in real time. It can even give us a blueprint for how to restore a damaged forest. Now look, the sheer scale of mapping this across the whole globe, that's a huge technical challenge, no doubt. But the potential is just undeniable. This is the kind of hard science that could make an ecology budget truly meaningful. Okay, so we've got the framework. That's the ecology budget, and we've got the data engine. That's the microbiome mapping. So what's missing? Let's talk about the final piece of the puzzle, the global structure that makes it all happen. The proposal is pretty straightforward. Create a new global body, a Planetary Health Organization. You can think of it like other big international organizations we already have. Its whole job would be to oversee the system and get it implemented all over the world. Its core mission would be built on this idea that you can't separate human health, animal health, and the health of the environment. They're all one big, connected system. And its main tool for getting things done, it would be to require every single member nation to prepare and present these 5-year ecology budgets.
And having a single centralized organization like this is huge because it creates a truly unified effort. It means for the first time, global sustainability decisions could actually be made at a global level. Everyone would be using the same standardized data, working towards shared goals, and, this is the big one, being held to the exact same environmental accounting standard.
All right, let's bring this all home. When you step back and look at the whole picture, what's the big takeaway here? How do all these pieces fit together?
What we're looking at is a really complete system. The ecology budgets, that's the what. It's the new accounting framework. The microbiome mapping, that's the how. It's the powerful data engine. And the Planetary Health Organization, that's the who. It's the global group that makes it all happen. And the thing is, each part absolutely needs the others to work. It's all or nothing.
And the thinking behind this whole thing isn't about small, incremental tweaks. As the source material puts it, it's a call for disruptive yet necessary actions. It's really about fundamentally changing the very definition of progress and success for our entire society.
So, that leaves us with the big question, doesn't it? Is this whole integrated system, this new way of accounting for our planet, the kind of disruptive solution we've been looking for? Could it really be the key to a sustainable future? Or is the political will, the sheer logistical challenge of pulling this off globally, just too big of a hurdle? Is it an unachievable dream? Definitely something to think about.